Hello students, and welcome to the session of Chemistry in Everyday Life with the JEE Advanced pattern. So I have brought a set of questions for you on the advanced level, but it is more or less simpler because it requires what? Again, not logical but factual concepts. So you need to be very careful while answering the questions. You need to properly read the question, then find out the correct option. You do not need that much of logics over here. So let us just start off with the first question. What do we have? The carboxyl functional group, that means what? Carboxylic group they are asking about, is present in. So I have got 4 compounds over here and I need to find out of which contains carboxylic acid group or carboxy functional group. So let us just find out. Picric acid, barbituric acid, ascorbic acid and aspirin. So we have got these 4 options. So let us just have the structures for each one of those. So the structures are, first is the picric acid. So here you need a very good knowledge in order to crack the questions. So picric acid is what we have done in the case of phenols, and it is 2,4,6 trinitrophenol is the picric acid over here. So that is nothing but the picric acid. Now let's move on to barbituric. So do not get confused by this term acid. It does not mean that there will definitely be a carboxyl group or carboxylic group present over here. So you need to have a proper information of the structure first. So what is barbituric? So let us just move on to the barbituric. So that is what barbituric is. And next what do we have? Ascorbic. So what is ascorbic? It is present in vitamin C. So ascorbic is like this. So again and again I am saying you need to have proper information of the structures. So here what do we have? So that is what ascorbic is. So if you observe picric acid, again acidic term, again acidic term and again acidic term. But still we haven't got any kind of carboxylic group here. So what is the remaining option? It's aspirin. So let us just find out the structure for aspirin. It is, aspirin is made actually from the salicylic acid. So salicylic acid is OH and COOH. Here I am replacing OH with OCOCH3. So that is what aspirin is, and this is the only option containing the carboxylic group. It is very much evident from here, from the structure itself. So that is the answer. I hope everybody has got the answer right. So now let's move on to the next question. What do I have? In the next question, what does it say? Now, which of the following is not true? So I need to find out the statement that is not true. So just read it out. Ampicillin is not a natural antibiotic. So can you see that? What is ampicillin? So we have discussed this if you have followed my previous question rounds, that is for the mains as well as NEET. So I had told you that ampicillin is semi-synthetic penicillin. So that means it is not a natural antibiotic but it's semi-synthetic. So this is true. Vancomycin is a broad spectrum antibiotic. Erythromycin is a bacteriostatic. We have discussed this as well. This is also true. That is also true. Mycin, whenever you observe the term mycin, so most of the drugs are lying in the category of antibiotics. So you must remember that. Now, prontosil is not converted into sulfanilamide in the body. So what is actually Prontosil? It is again an antibiotic and it contains what? Sulfanilamide group. So definitely whenever it gets into the body, it will get converted into the sulfanilamide, but the statement says it is not converted. So let us just have the structure first. What is Prontosil? So Prontosil is actually, it's a kind of an azo compound. That is what Prontosil is. And if you see over here, which is the sulfanilamide group? That is the sulfanilamide group. And it actually gets converted into parasulfanilamide whenever it gets into the body. So this would be NH2. So that is what sulfanilamide is. This is a class of sulfur drugs, and that means it makes the last statement incorrect or not true. We needed to find out not true statement, we have got the not true statement. I hope everybody is clear with the fact here. Now let's just move on to the next question. What do we have? We have got a multiple choice question here. So that is, which of the following pairs are bacteriostatic antibiotics? Again you need to find out antibiotics, but in the case of bacteriostatic. So what all we have? Erythromycin tetracycline. So is it bacteriostatic? Definitely yes. These two are bacteriostatic, they are stopping the growth of bacteria. Erythromycin again, similar kind of an option. Chloramphenicol, as I told you, it's a broad range of antibiotic, it covers many number of microbes. That means it is also what? Bacteriostatic. This is also true. Afloxacin, aminoglycosides. Afloxacin and aminoglycosides, it's nothing but the streptomycin. So these two medicines are actually under the category of bactericidal. They are killing the bacteria, not stopping the growth. We are concerned with stopping the growth. So this is not the option. Tetracycline, chloramphenicol, again a similar kind of an option. Tetracycline also gets included in the option A. That means naturally it makes the D option as correct. So I have got here A, B and D as the answers, since this was a multiple choice question. So I hope everybody has got it. Now let's move on to the next question. So what does the next question says? Okay, it's a comprehension passage type question. Okay. Let us just read the comprehension quickly. Synthetic tranquilizers, so they are talking about synthetic tranquilizers are mostly barbituric acid derivatives that we have actually done in the theory part. So they have mentioned veronal, luminal, seconal, amityl and nembutyl. Other tranquilizers which are not barbituric acid derivatives, not barbituric acid. So I am underlining this, are chlordiazepoxide, equanyl, meprobamate, valium, etc. So opium alkaloids, now they are taking up opium ones which are narcotic. What are narcotic? Morphine, codeine are powerful analgesics, they reduce the pain. Heroin is again what? A kind of a morphine. What kind of a morphine? Morphine diacetate is widely used as narcotic analgesic. Drugs which are used to cure the diseases caused by the microbes are known as antimicrobials, we all know that. These may be either sulfur drugs as sulfaperidine, sulfadiazine, so a similar kind of a sulfur drug, that is sulfanilamide or Prontosil we have just covered. So or they may be antibiotics. Antibiotics such as we all have done erythromycin, tetracycline, chloramphenicol, which inhibit or arrest the growth, stop the growth of the microbes, are called the bacteriostatic, while the others are known as bactericidal. So I hope everybody is clear with the concept. It's very simple. Now if you have read it, let us just move on to the question part. What all questions do we have? Which of the following tranquilizers is not a derivative of barbituric acid? So as we have done it, it was very much evident from the comprehension itself. So those which are not a derivative are equanil. So it's very much given in the comprehension itself. B is the right option. Now let's move on to the next question. What do I have? Among the following, the narcotic analgesic. Now I need to find out the narcotic one. That means having some kind of an addiction. It could be morphine, codeine, heroin. So out of all, if you see over here, these are what? These are again antibiotics, but these are non-narcotic. And aspirin is nothing but antibiotic. Whereas these two, ibuprofen and naproxen, these are nothing but the analgesics. So these are analgesics. In fact, this is also an analgesic. So let me just correct this out. That means I am left with heroin, again causing addiction, reducing the pain. So it is a narcotic drug. So I hope everybody is clear with the fact. Let's just now take up next question. So what do I have next? Now, which of the following is an RR antibacterial? So I need to find out antibacterials, or I can say antibiotics, or I can say antimicrobial. So penicillin, antibiotic, bactericidal, sulfapyridine, class of sulfur drugs, antimicrobial, or I can say antibacterial. Ofloxacin, again bactericidal, and definitely this is the option depicting all of those are antibacterials. I hope everybody has got the answer. It's too simple. So let's move on. The bactericidal, okay, it's cidal, just correct it, cidal, bactericidal and bacteriostatic antibiotics respectively are. So I need the first option is bactericidal, the second one as bacteriostatic. So just be very careful while choosing the options. Bactericidal, it is penicillin, but if you look at this, ofloxacin is again bactericidal. I need to have bacteriostatic. So erythromycin, again what? Bacteriostatic. So this is also not an option. Penicillin, chloramphenicol, that is our option. If you look on to the last one, tetracycline, it's bacteriostatic, whereas this is bactericidal, opposite. That means not required. I've got my answer here. Penicillin is bactericidal, chloramphenicol is bacteriostatic. So I hope everybody's got it. It's very simple. Let's move on to the question number 8. Now it's match the column. Again a very simple question, you need to just match out the answers. So if you see over here, which is the simplest one, you can pick up any one, any simple one to go on to an answer, to proceed for an answer. So I am choosing here the artificial sweetener. Out of all, I can very well recognize that artificial sweetener is the aspartame. Now if I go on for dopamine, so what is dopamine? It is actually a kind of a chemical messenger, a kind of a hormone which actually transmits the signals from the nerves to our receptors. So it's a chemical messenger, and what is the other name for the chemical messenger? These kind of hormones? Neurotransmitter. So that is neurotransmitter. Now if I take up the preservative, so out of sodium benzoate and antidepressant drug, so definitely I can choose my option here. It's very much evident that it would be sodium benzoate even if I don't know. So it's sodium benzoate as the preservative, and I would like to tell you here something about sodium benzoate. It is actually non-biodegradable. As it is gets excreted in the urine. So that is what this kind of a preservative is. Now if I move on to antidepressant drug, very much evident, aprionazid is the answer. So I hope everybody has got this match the column very well. A would be referring to R, B would be referring to P. Okay, I've got my option. B is the answer. I hope everybody has got the answer. Now, let's take up the second last question of this questionnaire. What is it? Assertion reason type question, type 2 I have got here. In each of the following questions, a statement. So, there will be an assertion, there will be a reason. If both the assertion and reason are true, but reason is not the correct explanation, then we would mark as A. If both are true, but reason is not the correct explanation, then we will mark as B. If assertion is true, but reason is not true, if assertion and reason both are false, so we will mark it out our options something like that. So, it is reason is true explanation, then the reason is not the true explanation, one is true, other is false, both are false. So, that is what we need here. Now, let us just check up what is the question, what is the assertion reason given for us. So, it says that is statement number 1, ranitidine is used to treat hyperacidity while brompheniramine is used to treat hypersensitivity. So, if you look over here, both the things ranitidine as well as brompheniramine, both are actually antihistamines. So, ranitidine we have discussed in the case of antacids, and it is actually acting as an inhibitor in the process. What kind of a process? Histamine stimulating the receptors. So, basically inhibiting the process of histamine stimulating, or I can say binding the receptors. So, that is what is the function of ranitidine. That means it automatically makes ranitidine not just an antacid but antihistamine. So, that is antihistamine. And I would like to say here is brompheniramine is actually an anti-allergic, is an antihistamine. So, that is a proper antihistamine. And again it has got the similar kind of a function as that of ranitidine, but here the function is not in the stomach but some other part of the body. Statement 2 says both the drugs are antihistamines. Yes, definitely. That means both the statements are true. This is true. This is true. But what is missing over here? That statement 2 is not a proper explanation because it does not explain the hyperacidity and the hypersensitivity issue which these drugs are treating. That means they are antihistamines but they are not actually explaining the activity over here. That means that is not a correct explanation. We have got our answer as B. What does B says? That statement 1 is true, 2 is also true, but 2 is not the correct explanation. So, that is what we are choosing over here, that is B. I hope everybody has got the answer here. Now, let us move on to the very last question. What do we have? Again the assertion reason type question. Sodium 2-dodecylbenzene sulfonate is a biodegradable detergent. So, it is a question of detergents. What is the reason detergents having highly branched chains are biodegradable? First of all, the reason is untrue. Why? Those detergents which are having branches are non-biodegradable. So, having branch chains are non-biodegradable, not biodegradable. What is the second thing over here? The chains the detergents having straight chains, that means having straight chains. So those are biodegradable. So that from this very kind of a concept we come on to the statement number 1, that is the assertion that sodium 2-dodecyl benzene sulfonate. So what is sodium 2-dodecyl benzene sulfonate? It is this. That is sodium 2-dodecyl benzene sulfonate, and they are saying it is a biodegradable detergent. Let us just check whether it is branched or not. So if you see here very carefully, I have got a straight chain over here. It's a straight chain detergent. That means what? It will definitely be biodegradable, as we have written over here. Branch chains are non-biodegradable, so just remember that. Branch chains are non-biodegradable. So I hope everybody is clear with the concept. You just need to go into the detail. Here we have applied a little logic. So I hope everybody is clear with the concept, and also you have enjoyed the question around. It was pretty simple. Not we can say it was so difficult or so simple, but it was kind of average. So you need to have a proper knowledge of the chapter. So I'll be back in the next session with next chapter. So till then, just keep on revising the questions as well as the concepts in order to have minimum preparation time for during the exams, and you can utilize the rest of the hours for other subjects. Till then, have a good day.